Welcome, 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 welcome back. We are here at Forget About It Today is one of my favorite recordings that we've done. We are going to review the one, the only Point Break, Point Break, Point Break. Now, I'm here with my co-host Justin Cox. Justin, have you seen the movie Point Break before?
No, this was my first time in the last 24 hours. Uh,
Now, I just wanted to preface this is going to be a simple 9 hour Point Break review. You and I have seen this movie way too many times, and it's
yeah,
definitely in my probably my top five movies of all time. What about you?
same here. It really is. It's one of those movies that if it's on and I've got nothing else going on, it's going to stay on. It's going to
Yep,
be
you
on
got
there
to
for the
finish
next
it.
2 hours and 15 minutes. I'm going to finish this movie. And I'm not like a big Keanu Reeves fan. He's not like an actor that I have to watch all of his movies. But this one is something that is very special to me. It's one of those movies like growing up. I was born in 85. You're 1 year older than I am. And I remember when this movie came out, like you were like 6 or 7. And even at that age, it was one of those movies that, your parents were talking about, hey, there's this movie, these guys that put on masks of presidents, they go into banks and they end up robbing them. And so it was kind of like a cultural thing that was happening at the time. Well, I didn't see the movie when it came out. My parents wouldn't let me watch it. But by the time I got to like, I want to say like 12 or 13, I was old enough to watch this movie. Obviously, it's got some language in it and all that. But this movie, I think, is a cult classic. It probably is a bit more than that. Um, Great actors, great cinematography. Movie looks great. The movie's 35 years old now, 34 years old. Still looks great. I cut it on 2 days ago in the opening scene where he's going through his training where he's got to kill like the
The
cardboard.
Targets,
Yeah,
yeah, the moving
and
targets.
and and then they flash to somebody surfing. It's a phenomenal movie the way it's set up and the way it starts.
Well, one thing that jumps out to me about this movie is when I thought about this movie, and the first time I saw it, I think the very first time that I saw this, the thing that jumps out at me is when he is chasing, Patrick Swayze's character through the different houses, and then he jumps down, and he has a previous football injury, and he has his sights set on Swayze, and you can see the eyes.
Yeah,
And then he ends up shooting upward, right? And he empties out the rest of his gun upward. And man, that was just like that scene to me was like almost like goosebumps. But the other neat thing about this movie is, the whole point is him, Johnny Utah, right, and his partner Gary Busey, Pappas. They're trying to get bank robbers, but when I think of this movie, I don't really think of the bank robberies as much. I think of the surfing. I think of the skydiving because those parts were just so epic and so loud in the movie that, when you go back and watch it, which I watched it, I think about a week ago because I just wanted to do a little refresher, even though it probably been, a couple months since I had actually seen it. Man, and you go back and you're watching it start to finish, undistracted, and you're like, oh yeah, it is about Johnny Utah, FBI agent, and he's trying to track them down. And man, I tell you what, it's got some great cameos. When I go back and watch some of the older movies, you kind of see people that are earlier in their careers, and you're like, oh yeah, I didn't. He wasn't that big at the time, or she wasn't that big at the time. And I'm sure you do that when you see some of the old stuff, and some people are top of the charts now that we're getting their start back then. So I thought it's such a cool movie. It's got a great story. It's got such great action for the time period. So you ready to get into it?
yeah, let's do it.
All right, man, let's do this. All right. What year to come out there, Justin?
1991. And what's great about this is if you've seen the first podcast that we did, Brian mentions that he and I have lived together at various points in time, whether it was getting our undergraduate degree at Coastal Carolina University in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, or we lived about an hour apart in Florida. We also lived together in Louisiana. You were getting your doctorate, I was getting my MBA at the time. And I remember we lived in an apartment together. And we had like a cycle of movies that we would watch over and over and over. And like I remember Roadhouse would be one of them, which we'll probably end up reviewing pretty shortly.
Yeah,
Uh,
hopefully next week.
and in this movie, we reviewed and watched a ton, right? And at the time, I don't know if we had the DVD or it was on FX or something, and we like DVR'd it. We would watch this movie over and over.
It's
So
so good. Yeah.
when you asked me what year it came out, it reminded me of a situation with a friend of ours. I won't say his name, but we have a friend who would always come over. We would hang out. We would watch TV, watch movies together. And one day we go, we're going to watch Point Break. And I vividly remember him saying, dude, I went the entire 80s without watching this movie. And I replied, so did everybody else. It came out in 1990.
That it's so I actually remember that quote, and he was getting his doctorate with me, and I remember I just couldn't stop laughing. He's like, "Man, I made it through the '80s," and you're like, "I think everyone did actually."
It came out in 91. So
Yeah, right. And oh man, I tell you Point Break was on the rotation when we were in Louisiana, Roadhouse, and then we made it a point of watching Walker Texas Ranger, I think either every night and or every morning.
yeah.
That kind of started the day with some Chuck Norris uh and his stunt doubles who always looked about 40 years younger. But all right, so we start, it shows Johnny Utah. He is clearly good at his job. He's going through the targets. They kind of set the scene for the surfing. What a great name, Johnny Utah. Do you remember there was a guy that had a similar name in Saved by the Bell? What was his name? It wasn't Utah. It was a different part of the
A
state.
different state up in the, I won't call it Pacific Northwest, but kind of like the middle northwest of the country, Johnny Dakota.
Johnny Dakota. So, I'm surprised in the remake they didn't name him Johnny Arizona, Johnny Colorado. And me personally, I don't, I saw the remake. It's a good movie if it's not in reference to an old movie, right? They changed it so much. But we'll stick with the original, the phenomenal one. Johnny Utah, he gets his first assignment. And I think Gary Busey said it. It was was it the robbery capital of the world? Is that what they said? Or the
Was it Pappas's character or was it the other guy, the guy that ends up becoming Dr. Cox on
oh, and Scrubs?
yeah. So he's like talking about it's the robbery capital of the world. Keanu Reeves says like, yeah, there's been 1,000 robberies in the last year or so.
Yeah.
Um, but no, I remember that scene. There's a lot of good one-liners in that one-on-one that Keanu Reeves has with his superior right there, some of which we can't repeat. Uh, but there's a line in there, and I wanted to text it to you yesterday because you and I kind of go back and forth playing the, what's this movie quote from?
Yeah.
And he asked the Utah, he goes, "Good, you're in good shape. You get all your vitamins," and then Johnny Utah replies, "I eat the chicken without the skin," or something like that.
Yeah.
That was just a great line.
Well, the only reason I would have known that had you text me just because I had watched it so recently.
Yeah,
But it's so funny. And then what does he do right after that? He grabs a donut,
donut.
right?
Yeah,
But that guy is. I think you mentioned it. He's on Scrubs, right?
yeah,
His boss. Another part that jumped out to me that they never really explain it anymore. He's like, why do I have to go blindfolded into the
yeah.
pool and pick up bricks?
Bricks. Yeah,
and he starts explaining that he has a young partner, and he's like, man, this stinks. And the guy's like right there,
yeah.
Keanu's right there, and
Young punk quarterback named Johnny Unitas.
yeah. So no, it's and then I think a neat thing, right? So he is young, he's motivated, he wants to come in there and help crack the case that no one has been able to do for it seems like years, right? And the more he interacts with Gary Busey, which Gary Busey was a great casting for
Agreed.
kind of his partner slash mentor. I like how he really tries to flush out All right. Well, what's your theory? Because apparently his theory is kind of made fun of by all his coworkers. And he's
Yeah.
like, they're surfers. And he's like, what? He's like, all right, tell me why. And he went over the explanation of when their jobs are. It's
Yeah.
during the summer. They're just trying to pay for their vacation. So it was man, it's such a good movie. And the fact that I really enjoyed going back because I've seen it tons of times, but really just watching it from start to finish and enjoying all the dialogue, man, so well done with the dialogue. And was it Lori Petty? Lori Petty's the love interest, and anytime I meet someone named Tyler, I think Tyler,
That's
Tyler.
that's right. It, and she, I mean, she's a fine actress. She was in a lot of things in the 1990s. Obviously, League of Their Own. I
Yeah,
remember she was in a movie called Tank Girl,
right.
Biodome. She was in, I believe, right?
Or was she?
Um,
Was it that or in the army now?
in the Army now. That's right.
Yeah,
Not
but
yet.
but a Pauly
Officially.
Shore movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, one
that's
of
right.
his four.
Yeah, that's right. Son-in-law, Biodome, Jury Duty,
And in the
the
army
Army.
now.
Yeah. Um, but no, uh, I mean, she's a fine actress. There's no doubt about it. She's great in the role. I think she's well cast. There's no question about it. I do. Again, it's one of those movies that I've seen so many times that it would have been nice to watch the movie today, but I just know this movie so well. Is the scene where he goes into the restaurant where she works at and he orders some food, but he had done his research at the time and realized that she had lost her parents or something like that, and so he makes up the story like he lost his family and all that to kind of find a common bond.
Yeah.
Um, and then she ends up teaching him how to surf after being reluctant to do so. She's great in this movie. She is fantastic. She's well cast. There's not a character in this movie that is miscast at all. I think everybody plays their part very well.
Especially the guy from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I mean, he really
Yeah,
he really
yeah.
stole the show when him and the other two guys were confronting Johnny Utah. Apparently, he wasn't allowed to be out in the water. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I
Well,
don't know surf etiquette.
it's weird because has he been in any other movies?
I'm not sure. I know. Wasn't there another guy? Was it Flea? Who
Okay,
was?
Flea's in a bunch of different movies, and he's
Yeah.
also in a movie we just mentioned.
Let's see. Oh, a son-in-law.
Yeah, he's the tattoo artist, right?
You pick it, I
I
stick
stick it.
it.
Okay, he's Flea is also in this other movie that came out probably 2 years prior to Point Break.
Well, a movie that I remember him in and with Charlie Sheen and The Chase. Wasn't he in The Chase?
I've seen The Chase, but only once, and it was a long time ago.
I think he was in that.
Okay, so Flea, if you go back and rewatch this movie, he's in this blockbuster movie from 1989,
Okay.
Back to the Future 2.
Really?
He is.
Okay. Uh,
So
I will be honest, it's probably been 30 years since I've seen Back to the Future, but honestly, I need to go back and watch those. Those are fun movies.
you need to go back to the future. I mean, that's what
Yeah.
you really need to do. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, getting back, Lori Petty, well cast. Let's talk about the villain. I mean, I guess he's the villain in the movie. I still like the guy, Patrick Swayze.
The bad thing is with Bodie, right? So Patrick Swayze played Bodie. He's such a likable character, right? And even though he is the villain, it's occasionally you have the movies where you're like, ah, all right, I know he's the villain, but man, he's a good character, and
Yeah.
Bodie, he just is so charismatic. He gets Johnny Utah to join his surf crew. Man, he's a good actor. The two movies that I really love with Patrick Swayze would obviously be this one and Roadhouse, and to both of those, he just absolutely crushes it. But the football scene was epic, especially when I'm not sure how they do the sidelines because at one point Johnny Utah chases him into the water and uh,
Yeah.
and tackles him, and I would have thought he was out of bounds. To me, I would have thrown the flag as a
Well,
late hit.
I think there's a bunch of forward laterals on that play too
right?
that
And
they
they're
could have called
running at
back.
full speed. And at one point in the movie, Johnny Utah flips. He gets through two guys in almost the same exact methodology. It, he knocks one guy out of the way and flips the other, and then
Yeah,
2 seconds later he knocks one guy out and flips the other,
yeah.
and trying to chase Bodie.
Well,
But
Johnny Utah was Josh Allen before Josh Allen was Josh Allen, right? Uh,
right.
okay, so here's a trivia question for you. You're going to get it, but it's something we have to ask. So Johnny Utah, right after that scene, it's a little bit of a confrontation thing going on between him and Bodie. Bodie's mates get in there. They try to mix it up with thing. And then Bodie says, "You know who this guy is?
And he goes,
Johnny
"No, I don't
Utah.
know who this guy is."
Where did he play college?
The Ohio State University.
And what bowl game did they watch him in?
Rose Bowl?
I thought it was a Sugar Bowl, but
Rose?
and it may have been the Rose Bowl. But
Honestly, oh man, I'm questioning myself now. We may have to Google that. But all right, so yeah, you pull it up just so we can
all right.
fact check ourselves here. Also, what amount of degrees was his knee pulled back? I'm gonna do a little trivia here. In the wrong direction.
Well, it's probably something nonsensical. 360 degrees.
That's a good guess. You divide that by four, you were spot on, my friend.
Okay, 90. All right.
He said he got it bent back 90 degrees in the wrong direction.
Okay. So Johnny Utah, you're right, it is Rose Bowl.
All right. Well, that was a lucky guess. The Sugar Bowl, that's a good one too. And so at that point, they start to realize, and he even tells them that he was out of football, his window closed, and then he went to law school. And so they said, "So you're a lawyer?" And he says, "Well, it's never too late to start surfing, right?" Um, so I looked this up. This was something I just did a little bit of homework on. Had Keanu Reeves ever surfed before? What do you think before this movie?
No.
He had not. And another thing that I had read, and I don't know if it's true or not, is that Swayze blew out his knee and broke four ribs in that football scene.
Ooh, yeah.
So that was kind of a neat thing. And they also said that he did some of the jumps, and it seemed like it was difficult to be covered with insurance at that time when he was wanting to do the stunts, some of the stunts. So, which is I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah. You think about it, this movie is, as you mentioned at the very start, heavily reliant on stunts. Obviously, the parachute stunts, the surfing stuff that takes place, and all that. Obviously, the running in between the houses, jumping over fences, and all that stuff. Obviously, they had stunt doubles for a lot of that. But to your point, I mean, in terms of like ensuring both actors in case they are doing these high risk stunts had to be nerve wracking for the producers, directors, and everybody involved. Um, Speaking of which, the movie is directed by Catherine Bigelow,
Right.
former ex-wife of James Cameron, who I believe is an uncredited writer on this movie.
All right. All right.
So a little trivia for you there. Um, no doubt about it. Patrick Swayze does a great job in this movie as the villain. Let's kind of go through this now. They are the quote unquote villains in the movie. They're the bank robbers. Who are the four presidents or five presidents represented?
I remember one specifically because he does make the reference to "I'm not a crook." So I'm gonna go with Richard Nixon was one.
That's correct.
Um, I want to say Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter is another one.
Was Jimmy Carter Bodie in the
Ronald Reagan is
Ronald Reagan? Okay.
Patrick Swayze.
And then who was the gray-haired one?
LBJ.
LBJ. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what was kind of funny is, as you progress through the movie, it's kind of a neat situation that they put Utah in, right? So they make him rob a bank with them as an FBI agent, and if they don't, what's on the line? Do you remember? if he's not willing to go through with the the bank robbery. Why is he forced to do that? Because someone is being held, I think,
Well,
right?
and I figured that's what it was. I just didn't know if
Yeah.
that was the point of the movie. Tyler is being held up, right?
Yep. Yep. And so he more or less has to go through and, as an FBI agent, he helps with that last robbery that goes bad because you have, it seems like a cop with the bank, and then you had an undercover cop as well who just didn't want to just do nothing,
Yeah,
right? And the one guy kind of looked like Kevin from The Office, one of the cops. Right.
it's true. Completely forgot about it. The other guy was a pretty built dude. I remember he's got the gray sweater, the jeans on,
Yep.
and he leans over. He's like, "I'm a cop. Let's do something." And he actually takes down the guy that was in the Jimmy Carter mask, right? I believe that was
Yep.
Bodie's brother or something like that.
Yep.
Um, no,
Hey,
great.
what was the fatal flaw in that last bank robbery? They wanted to go for what?
He went back into the vault, right?
Yeah,
They
he goes,
never go back in the vault.
they never go for the vault. As a time thing, right? It's like if
Yeah,
they had to be in and out, was it 60 seconds or Busey or whoever the guy said, he goes, they never get greedy. They never get greedy, but they got greedy that time, and not everyone made it out. You
yeah.
know. So man, what a I still, man, that still holds up to me, man. I watched that. That's just such a good movie.
My my favorite part after that scene is when uh, is it Bodie's brother who gets shot or whatever it is? They're in the van and they're he Johnny Utah goes, he's gonna die soon or something like that. And Bodie looks back, he's like, he's just scared, man, or something.
He goes, I feel cold. He goes, that's because all the blood is running out of your body.
You're gonna die soon.
He's
He's
just
just
scared,
scared, you
man.
know.
I do like the chicken, the chicken move. He goes, if you want to pull the ripcord, you have to drop the gun. And he goes, no, you do it. And so what
That's
does he
right.
do? He ends up dropping the gun and pulling the ripcord, and they both
Yeah.
survive. They hit the ground pretty hard. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I like how Keanu Reeves goes for his knee that is obviously tore up, flipped back 90 degrees.
yeah.
Uh, and so it's obviously part of his character angle that he's got this bad knee. He falls
Yeah.
hard on the ground. I'm sorry, Patrick Swayze also fell hard on the ground. How's he
Yeah.
able to get up squeaky clean and get into the Jeep or whatever it was that was picking him up?
And I think he
Uh,
just shakes the dirt out of his hair or something.
yeah, yeah.
Whoa.
And the other guy that jumps out, "See you in hell, Johnny," or whatever.
Was that Rosie, I think? And
We're missing an iconic part of this movie that we have not even mentioned yet.
let's see, the surfing. Let me rewind just for a second. You know when he Johnny Utah initially meets Tyler at the and gets the food? It kind of reminds me of the a movie where he goes and gets a tuna sandwich without the crust.
Yeah, are you talking about kind of like the namesake of this podcast, Forget About It Cut, named after the second installation of Fast and the
I'm
Furious?
curious. Yeah, Brian Earl Spillner. He goes,
Yeah.
the sandwiches. He goes, the sandwich. He goes, you keep coming back for the sandwich. He goes, they're no good. The sandwiches are terrible.
Obviously, Fast and the Furious, which came out 10 years later, 2001, is basically a ripoff of this movie, right? It's basically Point Break with cars, right?
Yeah.
A movie I enjoy. I love all the Fast and Furious movies. They're highly entertaining, but definitely a good pickup there. You still have not identified probably one of the biggest, highly quoted parts of this movie.
Oh, okay. So for me, it's when they're in the car and Gary Busey's getting hungry.
Mhm.
And he wants to get two meatball subs.
How many of them?
Two. Oh, give him
Two.
two.
I said two, you Tom. Two.
Or when Johnny Utah he's surfing, right, and he has to fight one red hot chili pepper and two other guys. one guy's named War Child or something, and he's with me. He's like, back off, War Child. He's with me. You know. And he's like, and he's trying to talk to the one guy. He's like, I'm really glad you stopped me. So,
And
all right, what scene are you thinking about? Oh, are you talking about where they make the wrong guess about who is robbing the banks?
okay, so you were correct. The most quoted thing I was talking about was the two meatball sub.
Yeah,
One of the most memorable scenes from this movie, in my mind, is when they go into the house, right?
yeah.
And there may be a certain lead singer from a certain late 80s, early 90s alternative rock band who may or may have not shoot himself in the foot.
Oh yeah.
Um, that part is very memorable. There's some other parts of that scene as well that are very memorable that we can't really talk about on this podcast. But definitely a very memorable scene. Also, the fact that Johnny Utah is in the fight scene with the guy, and the guy is mowing the grass.
Oh yeah. And he's pushing his head right into the mower at the very end.
And here's my thought: who's controlling the mower?
Yeah, because that you think you'd have to hold down a lever or something, right? Yeah.
It's like the next door neighbor just holding down the mower as these two guys are fighting. I'm just going to hold it here until somebody wins. So
I don't know if you ever saw this movie. I believe it was called Maximum Overdrive, where the electronics got possessed. Did you ever see that one?
no.
No. Or The Happening, where the guy lays down and the lawnmower is still rock and rolling right at him. Um, but no, that was a good scene because he has kind of hand-to-hand combat with the one guy, and he ends up putting his face up to the lawnmower. And
Yeah.
luckily, Gary
Yeah.
Busey's a very good shot.
Yeah.
Because he shoots the lawnmower that should have turned off on its own, but
For some reason it didn't.
that's neither here nor there. Um, most tragic part of the whole movie. What you got?
Tragic.
Yeah, there's one tragic point for me.
It's okay. They're about to get on the airplane. Gary Busey starts barking fire like he'll do several years later in Black Sheep. Um, and the one guy comes out from behind and ends up taking down Gary Busey.
And the worst part was he had a shot at Bodie, but Utah got in the way because why? Do you remember? He didn't want him to shoot Bodie because he's
He
like
wants to get Tyler back.
they got Tyler.
Yeah,
And then that ended up he hesitated, right? And that's when
yeah,
one of the other bank robbers came out and took down Busey with a shotgun.
yeah.
Oh man, I remember seeing that as a kid. I was like, I was a little bit I was a little bit taken back. It's like Gary Busey, no, Pappy.
Angelo Pappas, man. But he would be later reincarnated as a has-been Chicago Cubs pitcher,
Rookie of the year.
Chet Statman, baby.
Who
So
brought the stanky cheddar?
we'll have to review that movie at another
Our list is starting to grow on movies that we'll have to review.
time.
AI. All right, pick one movie with Henry Rosengartner
Yeah.
and Jet Stedman and uh, Daniel Stern.
Yeah.
um, all right, so into the movie.
Okay.
What's Bodie chasing at the very end? How big is this wave? Do you remember? Or what was the how many year storm? Do you remember this? I'm getting pretty specific, but we're just we're just going
I'll,
back and forth here.
I'll want to cluster around 100-year storm.
Very close. It was a 50-year storm, but I think the waves were 100 feet.
Okay.
And they have that nice hand-to-hand combat scene at the end where I love it when he goes, Johnny Utah always gets his guy, you know, and then he's like, you gotta go down.
Gotta be that way.
It's gonna be that way. And they have this great hand-to-hand combat scene, and you think that Keanu Reeves is drowned, right?
Yeah.
And then Patrick Swayze, then he surfaces, and what happens? What happened? Oh, he handcuffed him. Man, Swayze is quick. I tell you that much. He was able to get the handcuffs on underwater.
And I love Swayze's reaction. I mean, that just like, no, no.
And what's cool is he's like, I'm not going back in a box, man. You know I can't handle that. And then he's like, all right, look, I'll go with you. He changed his tune real quick. He's like, I'll go with you. Just let me try this one wave, this one set.
Yeah.
And that was kind of hilarious, because he goes out there and then the authorities come, they're like, you let him go.
You let him go.
And I'm not sure did they say what country they were in?
Well, he's not. He doesn't. He say to Utah, he's like, I'm not going to go paddle to New Zealand or something like
Yeah,
that.
maybe Australia.
So you would assume Australia,
Yeah.
not in Fiji or I don't know.
Yeah. But
So yeah,
it's great because he's out there and it's kind of funny because he doesn't last too long on the wave.
as good as a surfer that he's portrayed to be, I mean, it was like that. It was like you out there.
And
But
then I always remember the music that plays as Johnny Utah leaves. It's like some like heavy guitar as he's like he walked past the authorities.
I think it's a song by Rat.
Yeah.
Nobody rides for free or something like that.
Now
Which,
I did
by the
look
way, it's a great soundtrack in this movie.
um I did look this up. What name were they initially thinking for this movie besides Point Break?
I think I know this. I want to say I looked this up recently.
This is some fun trivia. And the only reason I looked it up today just for some fun Point Break facts. If people have not enough reasons to watch this movie from our podcast, right, then this could put it over the top.
It's like a weird thing, isn't it?
I'm glad they didn't go with this, by the way.
Isn't it something like something monkey or something? It's something silly.
So one of these of the shifting titles they said was Riders on the Storm.
Didn't I wouldn't have guessed that. Obviously, it's a play on the song by the Doors.
Yeah, the other one, I guess they thought about naming it just Johnny Utah. So it said the movie's shifting titles Johnny Utah, Riders on the Storm. Um, those are the only two ones that I came across before settling on Point Break.
Point Break is the perfect title. Of those other two, Riders on the Storm's not bad.
Yeah, I like Point Break to me kind of pulls in more of that surfing,
Yeah,
where Riders on the Storm. Um, my initial thought is horseback riding, right? But that's just, without knowing anything about the movie.
yeah.
Um, you know, Today I
No.
caught my first tube. It could have been called my first tube.
But no, he's obviously Keanu Reeves is not a Shakespearean actor. I mean, if he wins an Oscar, it's going to be honorary Oscar, I believe. He's still a very entertaining and charismatic actor. This role is perfect. It's suited for him. Obviously, at the time, he had done the two Bill and Ted movies, and the fact that he was cast in this role. Obviously, he's a good-looking guy, but the fact that he was cast in this role, I guess, in some ways, was a leap of faith. But because at that point, I don't think he had done any action movies at that time.
Yeah.
But he's phenomenal in this role. He's perfectly cast.
Well, and this may have set up for um, his next big role, which was very similar. He wasn't FBI, but he was a cop. Do you remember what came soon after? I think it came soon after this movie, which to me
Uh,
still is a phenomenal movie.
Shoot the leg.
And when he says that, he's referring to Speed, right? Where he doesn't let his partner Jeff Daniels get taken out because he shoots him in the leg.
Yeah.
Shoot the hostage. What? Which I actually watched that recently. I got on a Keanu Reeves kick, and there's only a couple parts of that movie that when they jump the bridge where I'm like, all right, are you serious? You know?
Well, the again, that's another movie.
Yeah.
The bus goes down, and then it comes back up the next scene that they show
Well,
up.
because it's like this, right? And it's
Yeah.
50 feet, and they're
Yeah.
like going 70. I'm still thinking physics wise, it just goes, not goes.
That's exactly what happens, right? Yeah.
Love the movie. I love the movie. right? Just there's a couple times where, or the other thing, I just have to get this off my chest. They go into the airport parking lot and they drive over
Doing the
what as
circles
they're
around.
entering. Well, they're driving circles, but is if you remember, they go over the spikes when they enter,
That's right.
and that I think there'd be some pretty big puncture wounds in those tires. I'm not
They
sure if
have the self-reinflating
yeah,
tires.
you're driving on rims at 55 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. I'm sure we'll be going over speed at some point. That
Sorry.
would,
Back
but
to
all
Point
right.
Break.
So, any other big movie moments that jumped out to you in Point Break that we missed?
I love the fact, was it Pappas that ends up punching that superior?
I think
Like
it
he's
was.
like, there's a again, we can't quote it, but there's a scene in there where their boss is giving them a bunch of lip, and he ends up Pappas gets tired. And he says, "You were doing so and so when I was in Vietnam or something like that," and he ends up
Yeah.
punching him out and all that.
Yep.
Um, again, can't repeat it, but that's definitely a memorable scene. Um, I think this movie, what sells this movie to me is it's such a beautiful looking movie. I've only been to California once. I would like to go back. It's obviously a beautiful state, but it's the way it's filmed. The stunt work is just absolutely gorgeous. The scenes when the skydiving scenes just look amazing. Um, this movie holds up. It just really holds up. I know that some of the music might be a bit dated for its time and all that, but the movie holds up.
It really
Uh,
does. And like it was what, 34 years ago? Like I
yeah.
watched it within the last week in prep, more not because I didn't know what was going like what happened in the movie because I've seen this. And I watched this recently, and it's not that because I didn't remember everything about it, but just some of the dialogue I didn't remember until I watched it recently. And I tell you what, man, it holds up from start to finish. The dialogue, the acting, the action, man, it is well done. If you haven't seen this, right, I'm giving you homework. If you're watching this podcast, thank you. But man, watch this movie. You will not be disappointed. It is outstanding. And if you watch it, come back and comment on our videos. We enjoy hearing from anyone that is out there that's listening. So all right, now what we normally do, we recast this. Now it's in the 90s. Do we want to go back to the 80s, early 2000s, or just jump forward to if it was recast now? And it wasn't the actors that were in the remake. What do we do here?
The one guy was from it's a Nicholas Sparks movie. What was it? All of Me or Part of Me?
I
Blonde
don't
haired guy.
I don't even know that
Um,
guy's name. I've seen him in a few movies. Usually he's a decent um he occasionally will be the main guy in movies, but usually he's kind of a supporting guy. And then the Bodhi character, trying to think
okay, so
who he has been
let's
in.
let's. I think the movie came out at a perfect time. That was kind of like the perfect era of surfing and kind of the alternative scene that was going on at the time.
Right.
Let's remake it in today's time. So
Yeah.
let's try it today. If you were going to remake this movie and stick to something that resembles the original movie, not the remake that came out 10 years ago that we just talked about, who would you cast in each role? Bodie, Johnny Utah, Angelo Pappas, and then Tyler. So the three guys and the female lead.
Let's see. Well, I'm guessing that Utah 30-year-old ish, 25 to 35, somewhere
Yeah,
in there.
thereabouts.
Bodie a little bit older, maybe 30 to 35.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. All right. For Johnny Utah, I wouldn't mind age-wise, little bit older, but I think he looks a lot younger than he is. It's Aaron Taylor Johnson. Is that his name?
Oh yeah, the Bullet Train guy.
Yeah. So him, he was in the movie Craven. It was a Marvel Marvel movie where he was, like enhanced hunter. I think
Yeah.
he could pull off the Johnny Utah character decently.
Yeah.
Like in his movies, man, he gets ripped. And he also has that, very athletic, action-packed movie. Actually, let me rewind here and thinking about him. Um, I wouldn't mind seeing like a Ryan Gosling as Johnny Utah.
I agree. Gosling's so dynamic though; he could play both characters.
Yeah.
He,
It would
he
actually be kind of fun to see him play like a villain, you know?
yeah, and plus he's older than you and I. He's probably in his early mid 40s now, so he would probably, and he still looks very young. He could probably easily play the Bodhi character physically as well. So yeah, I think Gosling would probably better cast in the Bodhi role.
Yeah.
Now for
Um,
Pappas,
let's see.
I mean Gary Busey's still alive. I mean, so
I'm going to pull from a Dark Knight casting here. Anthony Michael Hall.
okay, well, he's an actor, so
Let's see. I'm trying to think who has the Gary Busey look.
well,
I mean,
just kind of like a hardened guy, kind of gruff. Um,
Josh Brolin with bleach blonde hair.
okay. Who is somebody that is probably a bit gruff, probably in that 50 to 55, but with people looking younger nowadays, because people don't smoke as much, not as much sun exposure. So maybe you could cast somebody that was 60.
What about like a Kurt Russell?
I think he's too old.
You think so? How old is Kurt Russell? Approximately.
Kurt Russell has to be 70.
Okay. Yeah, that
But
makes.
but now that you say that, I'll give you an actor. He's a good actor, obviously has the looks to play it. Scott Eastwood,
Okay.
Clint
Yeah.
Eastwood's son. He could potentially play one of these characters.
Utah.
Yeah, obviously, and again, we talked about this movie. It's obviously a ripoff. God rest his soul. If they made this movie in the 2000s, Paul Walker would have been a perfect
Oh
uh,
yeah. Yep.
Johnny Utah. Um, but in terms of getting back to Pappas, um,
I'm trying to
somebody
think
that's
because we're looking for someone what in their 50s.
yeah, maybe 55, maybe 60. Could
Well, it's
handle
funny
some.
because I just watched F1 recently and Brad Pitt's 60.
I know
He definitely doesn't. He doesn't
he,
look like a
he's in better
Pappas.
shape than you and I. So
He could play Bodie,
yeah, there was
or
a scene.
or
There's a scene. He
or.
gets done with the race and he lays down on the couch and they show his abs and I'm like, Justin, you need to get in the gym, bud. So
Motivation.
yeah,
Um, okay, so this is doesn't have the look, but kind of has the old mentor type, like a David Harbour. Do you know who he is?
yeah, from Stranger Things.
Yeah, I could see him like as a as
Yeah,
a as a Pappas
I agree with that. That's a very good casting.
because he's kind of got that like that old man kind of always in a bad mood
Yeah,
type
but does the
personality.
right, but tries to do the right thing. Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Who's your new Tyler?
Tyler. I'm thinking, I don't know age wise, but um, Elizabeth Olsen. I feel like that could be a decent Tyler. Um,
Hmm.
or
Could she pull off the surfer vibe?
that's a great question. I've seen her in a bunch of different things. Now, the first time I saw her in a movie, it was a Marvel movie, but since then, I've definitely seen her in some other roles. I think one was called like Wind River that had Jeremy Renner. She played like a cop in that one. Um, she also played another, I can't remember what the movie was called, but it was like a futuristic world where her and her husband are trying to convince the powers that be that they should be allowed to have a kid in a society where not everyone's allowed to have kids or something. It was kind of an interesting movie. Um, so she definitely has range. Um, who else would be a good?
I would go. What's her the actress from Knives Out? Anna de Armas.
Okay, yeah,
I'll go with
yep.
her.
Or a do you know Vanessa Kirby? She played in one of the Mission Impossible movies. I think it was either in six, seven, or eight. She played Invisible Woman in the new Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I could buy it.
Yeah,
I don't know what she played. I know that she's in one of the Mission Impossible movies, but I
she's a good actress.
yeah.
Or Sydney Sweeney, maybe. So I mean, there's options. I hope they
Yeah.
don't. I hope they don't remake it. But if they do, I hope they pick our cast.
Yeah, so we settled on Ryan Gosling as Bodhi,
Yep.
ATJ for Johnny Utah,
Yep.
um, David Harbour for Angelo Pappas,
Yep.
and
I think your recommendation was the best. The Anna.
Anna de Armas. Okay,
Yeah.
good deal.
Yeah. So
Uh, so now Kevin Bacon time.
Kevin Bacon time.
Okay. I will do. We're doing Keanu.
Yep.
Okay. And we'll do Swayze as well because they've had a big enough filmography. Keanu. All right. This is where you're going to find out that he was an extra in R.I.P.D.
Who told you? Who told you?
I haven't seen the John Wick movies. Is Kevin Bacon in those movies?
um, he is not. Willem Dafoe is in those movies, or is in one of the movies. Um, let's see. The guy's a big time actor. Early, like he played the dad in Hot Rod. Do you remember him?
Oh, yeah. I know you're talking about Ian. I forget his last name.
So he plays in all four of the Wick movies.
Okay, so Keanu Reeves. I'm definitely not going to be using his cast member from Bill and Ted. Um,
Or the guy that plays Napoleon.
all right, so Keanu Reeves.
I'll throw out a couple ones that may help you. He was in The Matrix. Um, he was in The Lake House.
Yeah,
He was in Destination Wedding.
I agreed.
John Wick 1 through 4.
Kevin Bacon. All right, Kevin Bacon. So always going to have to come back to Tom Cruise. So I believe, and I don't think I've ever seen this movie, but I think he's in this movie. Is Has Tom Cruise ever starred in a movie with Sandra Bullock? Because I want to go Keanu Reeves, Sandra Bullock, go that route.
What about
But I
Dennis?
will. I am going to do this one. I'm going to go Keanu
You
Reeves.
also got Dennis Hopper, Jeff Daniels.
I was going to go Dennis Hopper. Keanu Reeves is in Speed with Dennis Hopper.
Yep.
Dennis Hopper, again, he might be in JFK because everybody's in JFK. He's also in a movie called Waterworld with Kevin Costner.
Yep.
Kevin Costner's in JFK and Kevin Bacon's in JFK.
I thought you were personally going to go Dennis Hopper from Space Truckers with Steven Dorff. That's
Well, there was a binomial tree in front of me and I went with
all
so,
right. Keanu Reeves, Matrix. Um, you had Morpheus, who played Lawrence Fishburne. You have Hugo Weaving, Agent Smith, right?
yeah.
Hugo Weaving was the Red Skull in Captain America: First Avenger. Do you know where I'm going with this? With Chris Evans.
Keep going.
Chris Evans was in Deadpool and Wolverine with Ryan Reynolds.
Uh-huh. Finish it out.
Ryan Reynolds was in R.I.P.D. with Kevin Bacon.
God bless you. All right. Next up.
All right, how about I go first on this one?
Okay, you go Swayze.
Oh, crap. All right, so Patrick Swayze, the one and only Patrick Swayze. All right, Patrick Swayze.
I dare you to go down a Roadhouse path.
All right, I will. Here we go. Patrick Swayze, Roadhouse.
Okay.
Sam Elliott.
Okay.
Sam Elliott, Tombstone.
That's correct.
Bill Paxton.
That's correct.
Bill Paxton, Apollo 13. Kevin Bacon.
Okay. Can I take an easier route?
Yeah.
Patrick Swayze goes with Demi Moore. Demi Moore was in A Few Good Men with Kevin Bacon.
Nicely done.
Okay.
Nicely done. That's good stuff right there. Um, Probably not go Gary Busey. I
It's
know
worth a
he,
shot.
I know he was in one of the Sharknadoes. Um, I
Of course he was. He
think it
was
was
the right.
I think it was the fourth one. Let's see, Gary Busey. Okay, let's see. Kevin Bacon.
Okay, I'll give you a hint. You got to remember, Gary Busey was Joshua in Lethal Weapon.
Okay.
He was the bad guy in Lethal Weapon, the first one.
Um,
So you got Mel Gibson, you got Danny Glover.
I was thinking, let's see. Hmm, hmm. I'm not really attaching any Mel Gibson, Kevin Bacon movies. Okay, let's see. How about hmm, Gary Busey? If it was getting him to Ian Ziering, then that would be a one step thing. Gary Busey.
Well, there was that time that Kevin Bacon did a guest starring on a. No, I remember that one.
All right. Do you have it? How about you go first while I think of my Gary Busey?
Okay, I'm gonna go down a rabbit hole. I mean, he had. I mean, there have to be some type of connection with Mel Gibson. So I'm gonna go. Gary Busey was in Lethal Weapon with Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson was in a host of movies in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. Um, let's see. How can I get Mel Gibson back to Kevin freaking Bacon? Again, I mention every week, was Mel Gibson somewhere in the movie The Air Up There? And I don't,
Was he an extra? I don't know.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know.
He was in the other tribe,
Who
he was a
was
point
that?
guard. No, let's go. Mel Gibson. People watching this are like, this movie he was in, and you're not getting it. Mel Gibson was in. Again, he's probably in JFK, but let's see. Mel Gibson.
Is there any Rookie of the Year connection? Let's see.
He was almost cast as Chet Steadman down to do Braveheart. Let's see.
Kevin
Oh,
freaking Bacon.
Kevin Bacon.
Let's see.
Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson was in.
What about Goldie Hawn? Bird on a Wire,
I know,
Overboard,
I know, I know, I know. He would.
Tremors.
I'm thinking, dude. I'm thinking like Footloose. Was he in a movie with John Lithgow? Um. This one's tough, man.
Gary
Um,
freaking Busey.
I think I got it. I think I got it. Gary Busey. Can I look up the actor's name?
Sure. Yeah.
I know his first
I'll
name was Bruce.
I'll allow it.
Okay, I'm gonna go down Black Sheep.
Okay. Okay.
I know his name. His first name is Bruce. I don't know his last name. Bruce McGill. He plays Nushwan.
Okay.
Gary Busey's in a movie called Black Sheep with Bruce McGill.
Okay.
Bruce McGill is in a movie called Animal House. He plays, I believe, Mayday, or what's his name? Bruce McGill. His character in the movie Animal House, D-Day, Mayday, D-Day also stars Kevin Bacon. That was, I believe, Kevin Bacon's first movie that he was in, and he was like
Very
16 or
good.
17 at the time.
Oh wow.
So
Nicely timed.
beat that.
I'm gonna try, but it's gonna be hard. I'm trying to find a connection through the movie Grown Ups.
Grown ups.
Yeah, so Gary Busey was in Black Sheep. David Spade was in, was in Black Sheep. David Spade was in Grown Ups. There's got to be an Adam Sandler Kevin Bacon movie, I feel like. Um, or a Chris Rock or let's see, a Rob Schneider. Let's see.
Do you want some help?
I do. Let's see. Initially, I
Oh,
was, yeah.
okay. Kevin Bacon, by the way, was 19 when they filmed Animal House.
Okay.
Okay, so filmography. Gosh, what movies has he been in? Where's it at?
Who, Busey or Kevin Bacon?
Kevin Bacon. Kevin Bacon.
Gary Busey. He's a tough one here. There's got to be a connection through Sharknado. Um,
Okay, and you said something with Adam Sandler or something along that line.
yeah, or Kevin
Uh,
James, or let's see.
I'm looking at it right now, and I think you're screwed. So
What about with Daniel Stern? Is there any Daniel Stern, Kevin Bacon movies? How am I going to get back to
he
R.I.P.D.?
doesn't look good. I don't think he's in Bushwhackers
Or Bushwhacked? Is that what it's called?
or Bush.
Is that the wrestling guys?
Oh yeah, yeah, that thing.
All right, how about this? Gary Busey is in Point Break
He
with
is.
Patrick Swayze.
Okay.
That's funny. No, I can
Patrick
do
Swayze's in.
it. Already connected
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
Let's see, Gary Busey. Come on, Gary Busey. You know, an actor that I always used to get confused with Gary Busey was Nick Nolte.
For obvious reasons. We've all seen the mugshot of him in that Hawaiian
And
shirt.
they have that spiked blonde hair. All right, Gary Busey, you have to dig deep here. Who could I connect to in?
I mean,
Problem
if
is,
you
I
want
don't
some,
know that many Kevin Bacon movies, which is why I always
I'll give you a movie I really enjoy. He plays a villain in the movie, The River Wild, with him,
Meryl
John,
Streep,
Meryl
right?
Streep, John C. Riley's also the
And the guy
bad.
from Jurassic Park, right? The kid from
Yes.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah. So if that's helpful, Meryl Streep, John
Oh,
C.
John C.
Riley.
Riley. Okay. Gary Busey. Let's see.
You got Will Ferrell there because of Step Brothers we did a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
John C. Riley is also in Days of Thunder with Tom Cruise. That might be helpful.
Ooh, Tom Cruise. All right. Let's see. Kevin Thinking Bacon. Um, pull up Gary Busey's filmography. Just see if there's any blatant films I'm missing here. I feel like hmm,
So Gary Busey. Oh my gosh, I forgot that he was in this movie. I thought it's a great movie, but it's probably the best Seagal movie,
Under Siege.
Under Siege.
Under Siege. Let's see. Steven Seagal was in, man, Kevin Bacon. I don't know if there's 6 degrees of separation in my mind
Okay,
with Gary Busey.
I'm going to help you out here. He
Yeah.
was also in the movie The Firm.
Kevin Bacon was?
No,
Oh, Gary Busey?
Gary Busey was in the movie The Firm. He played Eddie Lomax. Obviously, the main
Tom Cruise.
protagonist is Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise was in A Few Good Men with Kevin Bacon.
There you go.
Man, I need to go back and restudy my 50 somethings in 91. All right. So we were able to make it through 6 degrees. We definitely crushed the main characters. Gary Busey was a little bit of a wild card for me. Few Good Men always saves the day. Few Good Men and R.I.P.D.
Yeah.
All right, we're toward the end of the show. Two things we have left to do. We have to give it a ranking, right? And
Okay.
we have to pick our next one. So, um, think it in your mind while I get a number. All right, what you got?
Write mine down. How about that?
Sounds good. I'll do the same.
I love this movie. I absolutely love this movie. And again, I know it's never going to win a Best Picture and all that, but in terms of just sheer action movies that have a thrilling element, highly entertaining, rewatchability is also very important to me. Um, because of that, I'm going to give it a very high score. I'm not going to give it 100, but I'm going to give it this. You ready?
Yep. 94. Oh man, that's good stuff. Now, Um, okay, so when I compare it to No Country for Old Men, it's to me it's not on that level barely, right? Now, what I gave, I'm not far off from you. So I gave it
89.
89. To me, it is
Yep.
on the cusp of an elite movie. Um, Now, watchability. Now, that's what I give it when we're talking about movie as a whole. In terms of my personality, entertainment value, and the actors that I like in the action, I give it a 98. Yeah,
Yeah.
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 You know what I mean? I mean, it's so well done. I really don't think there's a flaw in the movie, um, outside of them not getting more Red Hot Chili Pepper cameos.
Well, I mean, you just look at the action movies of the 80s, 90s. I mean, you have the Lethal Weapon movies, you have the Die Hard movies. You basically have all the Die Hard spin-off movies, like Speed is basically Die Hard on a bus. So
Right.
this movie is up there. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just as good as that. I obviously watched Die Hard the other day because it's a Christmas movie and you have to.
Yeah.
But I mean, Die Hard, Point Break, those movies are up there in terms of the best action movies from the 80s and 90s. So
Yep.
I don't feel guilty giving it in a 94. So
No, I think you could easily give it anywhere from, like I said, 89 to 98. If you read my number backwards, that is a 98. So, all right, are we ready to do the AI spinning the wheel for our next movie?
okay. So let me.
Do we want to
Uh,
stick in the action? I kind of feel like we should stick in the action arena.
okay.
What do you think?
Well, I'm fine with that. What time frame?
90 to 2010, just kind of stick in that same wheelhouse.
Let me cue it up, and then I'll share the screen so everybody can see the results. All right. Could you provide me a list? One movie or a list?
List. Let's go list, and then we'll have it pick one.
Okay. So provide me a list of movies, action movies,
Yep.
1990 to 2010.
Yep.
Okay. Me,
Hopefully in our 1,000th show, then we'll, maybe we'll pick one that we want in our thousandth and one show.
Okay. So I'm gonna click on this. Let me share it right here. Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. So we have Die Hard 2, Terminator 2, Judgment Day, Point Break we've already reviewed, Under Siege, which we just talked about because of the Gary Busey connection. Uh,
Yep.
The Last of the Mohicans, which I've never seen.
Okay.
It was actually filmed up here in the high country here in North Carolina. True Lies, which is a great movie. Speed, we've been talking about. The Rock, you and I both love that movie.
Oh yeah.
Hunger, obviously a very entertaining movie. And then Face Off. So it looks like the probability of us getting something with Nicolas Cage is going to be pretty high. So,
I also like how you put I guess um okay, gotcha.
so
At
these
first
are nine.
I was like there's no movies in the 2000s.
Yeah, so late 90s, you got Ronin, The Matrix, Enemy of the State, The Mummy. Mid 2000s, Gladiator, Black Hawk Down, The Bourne Identity, Minority Report, Casino Royale, The Dark Knight. And then we have Taken, Man on Fire, Heat, Shooter, or The Kingdom.
That that's a great list. So I mean I think we can
And some of
yeah,
these I've never seen. So what do you want to do?
tell it to pick one. We'll go from there.
Go. This is what we're going to review. It's
All right, drum roll.
going to be Point Break again.
Point Break 2. Johnny's Revenge. Oh,
I watched this movie like 3 months ago. I'm ready.
same. The first time I seen it was about 6 months ago. It's a
Okay.
great movie.
Heat 1995, starring Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Val Kilmer, who recently passed away, Ashley Judd, as well as some other really big time actors. So
John Voight.
John Voight's in it. That's right.
I tell you what, I mean that if we do, we'll have to set aside about 3 hours for 6 degrees of separation with Kevin Bacon. Because there are just so many good actors in this movie.
Yeah,
That's
no,
the and the
it's really good.
action's phenomenal too.
Yeah, it's a top notch movie. Again, the '90s. Now that we're looking back at it, was just a time period where we got really good action movies, a lot of good stunts, and as they
Yep.
mentioned right there, I was going to say it, no CGI. You know,
Yep.
so
No, that's a
all
great one. I'm
right.
looking
So
forward to that.
so Heat.
Well, make sure you don't forget about it, cuh.
I won't
And
forget about
we appreciate everyone tuning in. And man, if you want us to review a specific movie, please leave a comment, and we'll take that into consideration. We appreciate we like talking movies. We like just hanging out. And once again, thank you for viewing our video. And until next week,
forget about it, Kyle.
forget about it, cuh. Signing off.
All right. See
Signing
ya.
off. All right, man.